So here I am, Saturday night, watching the Royal Rumble. Afterwards, by the way, fuck yes, Ronda Rousey came in big. Anyway, after that, finished the Royal Rumble, happy with the results, so happy that Becky Lynch just dropped that fat fuck dewdrop. Getting off topic. And I see that Yellowflash is streaming. Yeah, sweet. I'm going to get to catch most of his stream as well. Because, while I like the WWE, love me some Flashcast. Then we get a bit into it, and some drama starts. I'm going to say this right now, right out loud, because I'm sure you see the title. If either the Quartering, or Yellowflash, or frankly, even Lofty or Tug, or anyone for that matter, sees this, I implore you to watch it to the end. I feel like everybody needs to absolutely hear this. Because I'm not speaking as a YouTuber. I've got like 4 or 5 videos and 20 subscribers. I'm coming at this as a fan of both. And if I'm going to be completely transparent, a bit more of a fan of the Quartering than Yellowflash. Sort of. I prefer Quartering's videos. I prefer Flash's live streams. That's just. I try to listen to Flashcasts. Every Friday, Saturday, whatever. I also try and listen to Open Bar whenever it's on. There's a lot of streams in this sphere that I listen to as often as I can. Nerdrotic, the whole 9. So, but when it comes to their videos, more of a fan of the Quartering. Live streams, Yellowflash guy. I'm a bit disappointed. I'm disappointed in you, Flash. I'm disappointed in Yellowflash because he does not see that he is Frost's knight. He had an absolute meltdown. Fuck this, fuck them, fuck everybody, fuck G4. And while for the most part I agree, I'm very much no fan of G4, very much no fan of how any of this situation has gone down. I think that was the complete wrong attitude to take, because I won't lie, you sounded just fucking like her. You're like, oh, these people have a problem, so I'm going to attack it head on, despite the fact that I'm wrong. You're wrong, because that's not how you handle a situation like that. First of all, you tried to get Frost to have a discussion, or an interview, or a debate, whatever you want to call it with you, and then in this, live stream, you were like, oh yeah, I was going to tell her to her face, this, that, and the other, fuck her, I was going to tell her. First of all, no. Because then you would be literally exactly what they were claiming that our side is. How do you not get that? Like, if she's talking about sexism in gaming, or how awful men are, or this, that, and the other, why would you want to come at her aggressively and just give her side fodder? That makes literally no sense. So either A, you're a fucking liar, you weren't going to do that, you're just upsetty spaghetti that Jeremy is the bigger fucking YouTuber, so he got the interview, or B, you were going to do that and you're being honest, which would have been honestly even worse for the cause. I won't lie, I spent the majority of the night before making this while listening to the live stream playing Pokemon Arceus, while my beautiful fiance, who's way better at video games than I am, was asleep in the other room. I know I'm not a bad male gamer. I love women, I love video games, and I treat both very respectfully. Frost probably doesn't know, or agree, or care, whatever. But I'm sure I'd be much better to debate with than you, because I'm not gonna attack and be aggressive. The reason I said in the beginning that I like Jeremy's videos better is because he's not as aggressive. Someone said in one of the super chats that you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar, and they're entirely correct. The goal is not to get Frost on our side. That has never been the goal. That should never be the goal. There are 2 goals here. Goal number 1 is to get fans of Frost to understand that, oh, this is propaganda, they're not all like that, and if not come to our side, at least understand our side and be more open and accepting of the different points of view. And we've seen this happen, not only with the Quartering and What's-Her-Face from The Witcher, but with Chris Ray Gun and Lacey Green. Like Lacey Green was so anti our side, and then people call her red-pilled. No, she just listen to other folks' opinions and realize that maybe there's more of a middle ground. So Jeremy's doing, for one, exactly what he needs to be doing. And the second goal is to show that our side is willing to extend olive branches to show that we hear you, we would like more context, and we would like you to hear our side. Let's come together and meet in the middle. Their side doesn't do that. The fact that, first of all, Frost even decided to do that is out of that side's character. Was it a publicity stunt? Maybe, probably, but it happened. And now something is coming of it. So we should be celebrating this as a chance to show that we're just not a bunch of fucking alpha Chad who are really, betas in disguise that just love fucking anime titties and shit. Like, that's not a good look for us. So, the Quartering, who's probably the most stereotypical looking of all of us, frankly, I don't know if that's true. I've never seen your face, because you, Tug, everyone that won't show their face, kind of cowards. I get it. I know that comes off rude. That comes off harsh. People dox you. They'll do horrible stuff to you. They'll put your address out there. They'll try and hurt your income. So that's more or less me just being an asshole to show you how you were acting in your chat. I don't actually think you're a coward for not showing your face. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. My point is, the Quartering is one beta-looking motherfucker. But he's a really, really good centrist. He is willing to extend an olive branch, and he's willing to make our side look good and like we were able to sit and talk and confer and share ideas and opinions, even with those we don't agree with, to try and further our cause. And our cause, at least so far as I can tell, is making sure that folks realize that we aren't what G4 says we are. We're not trying to change G4's opinion. We're trying to change our perception to the outsiders. And this isn't just a, Frost is on the left, fucking all of them kind of thing. Matt Walsh, like a year or two ago, Daily Wire, hardcore Republican, wrote an article about how shitty video games were and how bad gamers were. No, this is not a left versus right thing. You went on and on in the live stream about the culture war. Is war the right term? That sounds pretty extreme. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong. I don't like being called a sexist or a bigot or a racist or anything because I like games and like big titty anime chicks. But by the same token, there's Muslims in camps in China and fucking fuckers starving in Africa, and there's all this shit going on in the Ukraine. Who gives a fuck if people think some white guys like us are a little upset about the video games we like? Like, I get it, that's how you get your money, that's how you get your clicks, that's what I kind of, at some point, hope to do, but also I only upload one video every fucking year or whatever. Yeah, we want to hear our opinions heard, we want our voices heard, we want Star Wars to be good again. I think we're more or less all on the same page with that, but the way that you specifically tonight went about it, Flash, I guess yesterday, it's after midnight, anyway, it was awful, it was terrible. You didn't do a good job of conveying your point. And I've got some criticism for the Quartering as well. This isn't just a fuck Flash video. Quartering came on, and man, he sounded like a fucking moron tonight. Like he came on and he was like, yeah, what? You want to talk? Or you talk shit? Pussy little bitch, or fucking whatever he said. Like, just some dumb shit like that. It was not the right approach. It wasn't the right approach in the slightest. But it's also kind of understandable considering you spent the last fucking hour going hard on him when he is doing in the beginning was the right thing, extending said olive branch. Should he have come on the chat like 30 minutes prior when you guys were all railing on him and whatnot? Maybe, probably. We don't know what he was doing at the time. We don't know. He says, I was going to Taco Bell or whatever. For all we know, he could have been fucking just driving, had the chat up in his car, had his fucking video on car dash, or whatever. How are people fucking drive and stream and listen? I know that when I hop in the car, I immediately connect my Bluetooth, throw my phone in the passenger seat, and just fucking listen. I mean, if it's 9 times out of 10 what I'm listening to on YouTube doesn't require visuals, like Flashcast. So maybe he was doing that. So yeah, he very well could have heard, oh man, they want me on this stream. I'm fucking busy at the moment, I can't do it. And you could say, well, he was uploading to Twitter all this. I would say that using talk to text to upload to Twitter a few times is a bit different than hopping on a live stream while you're driving. And that's just speculation. Maybe he was doing that, maybe he wasn't. My point is, real quick to jump the gun and making assumptions rather than just being like, we can tackle this another time. We're all supposed to be on the same side of this. I know that Tug said we're all only loosely aligned, which is true. Frankly, I can't see a whole lot of times when you and Tug and Quartering and Critical Drinker and Chris Raygun and some black guy, and when all of you would all agree. I mean, frankly, I could throw Tim Pool in that just to be funny because I know you guys aren't a big fan of him. My point is, at the end of the day, there's some sort of alliance between all of us and all of our ideals and all of our mentalities. And like Tug was saying late in the stream, the left is united. We're really not. We're united maybe in our ideals, but not in the way we advance. If we were an army, we would be a dysfunctional mess. Maybe some good at guerrilla warfare. Maybe some that are absolute jokes. But at the end of the day, that's kind of where we're at. Maybe we should be a bit more united. Maybe we should go ahead and decide, work together, stream together. I know in a lot of cases, that's what you guys do. But tonight was a misstep on all fronts. I think more on your front, Flash, than on Jeremy's, but on all fronts. There's probably a lot more that I can go into. You know what? Fuck it, I'm not doing anything right now. I will go into more. Flash, I gotta ask you. How do you not realize that what you did in the beginning of this, literally talking over Ethan, screaming and yelling, man, your mic was peaking so hard, and frankly, you're talking to somebody recording on a cell phone right now, so I don't have a lot to say, but your mic was peaking so hard, I for a moment thought that maybe you were drunk, or were just going on some drunken random tangent. I shouldn't say random, it wasn't random, but some drunken tangent that you just weren't in your right mind to control. How's that any different than what Frosty did? She literally went on a rant about injustices and what's wrong with the world and what's wrong with gamers and this, that, and the other. How is what you did any different other than you consider yourself on the right side of the argument? Do you think she or her producers or scriptwriters or whatever don't consider themselves on the right side of the argument? No, yeah, that was a really, really fucking hypocritical move. Jeremy, how are you going to come in and be aggressive out the bat when you should be the voice of reason and being like calm, cool, collected, and frankly, it kind of pussed out just because Ethan was out there. Ethan, I got something to say to you too. I respect what you're doing with Comicsgate. Sorry, recovering from COVID. I respect what you're doing with Comicsgate. Frankly, I have a comic I'm working on. I would love to get your seal of approval. But I also think you're a bit biased in the SJW side of things, just because, and the reason I say that, your job, your livelihood, everything was affected by this. And I think that's given you a bit of a tunnel vision, and now you are too deep into it. You're kind of like that Batman quote, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I'm not saying you're the villain yet, but I think that maybe you should back off and expand your horizons before you do see yourself become the villain. So, let's get some vodka with that whistle. Anyway, now, back to Flash. You kept saying you're over it, you're done, it doesn't matter, you're over it. But then you kept picking it back up, you kept bringing it back up. You kept reading super chats, you kept, dishing it back out. Well, then you weren't over it, then you're lying. Now, you can make the argument, well, the people pay me super chats, they pay me money, so I've got to read them. Yeah, so that's an argument. Or, if you were actually over it, like you were saying, you'd be like, hey, I'm not gonna read any super chats, but Jeremy, I'm just gonna go ahead and refund all of those to you. That way, you get your money back. I don't want to perpetuate this any longer. Now, why didn't you do that? One of two reasons. One, you can't. Maybe fucking that's not just able. Maybe you're not able to do that. I don't actually know. I'm clearly not big enough on any sort of platform to get super chats for live streams or anything. But I would think it's something that could be refunded. say somebody accidentally double sins or whatnot. I've heard of that happening. Or 2, you didn't want it because you wanted that money. Now, there's no issue with that. I'm pro-capitalism. I'm all about getting that money. But, if that be the case, was it fair for you to attack Jeremy and be like, oh, he's all about money, he's all about buying that new shed, getting that new house, this, that, and the other? Once again, I think that's disingenuous. A lot of the stuff that you attacked him for, I think, A, wasn't thought all the way through, or B, you also do. You just decide to forsake that when it comes to, spreading your own message. That's, again, disingenuous, not fair, and it just shows that we're not aligned when a lot of us really should be. Frankly, I think the only winner in all of this was Lofty. Aside from saying that he was a fan of modern James Bond, which, to be honest, he's totally wrong about. Connery and Brosnan, best Bonds, plain and simple. Although I won't lie. A View to a Kill is my favorite Bond movie. Anyway, aside from that, Lofty came out the winner. He tried to understand both sides, keep the peace, and did what I think was correct in calling out Jeremy for being a pussy in not joining the stream when it was being requested of him. Now, I know I said earlier that we don't know the situation, why he didn't join the stream right away, and that's true, but my point is he played both sides adequately. He didn't just jump to one and stick to it. He was very, very neutral. And that's how he should be. And this is why we should have Frosk, or any other leftist, or video game libtard on streams like these. We should have them there to show what we actually mean as part of this community. And also, I'm going to leave it with this. Last 2 points. I don't think it should be live streamed. And here's why I don't think it should be live streamed. Because you kept saying, edited. No. Just because it's not live streamed doesn't mean it's not edited. So, Flash, you make your living talking about incorrect takes. Like, oh, they said this about Superman #6 when really they lied. Or they said this about insert Disney project here when really they were only giving us half the information. So, don't jump to that assertion about Jeremy. You're doing the same thing. You're like, it's going to be edited, so it means it's going to be wrong, and they're going to make it look bad, or he's going to make us look bad, or whatever. You're jumping to that conclusion without any proof. It's an assumption about the future. Your entire channel is about calling out misinformation after the fact. So you calling out and making an assumption saying it's going to be like this, you are giving potential misinformation before the fact. You're effectively being a hypocrite, a preemptive hypocrite. Now, you could be right. You very well could be. But you don't know. So, maybe don't do that. That's just my, 2 cents on that matter. And I guess that's about it. I'll leave it with this. Again, if either of you saw this, or anybody who was in that live stream, again, this wasn't coming as a YouTuber. I'm got like 20 subscribers, and this is like my 5th or 6th video. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan of both of you. And I think this is a really piss poor take from Flash, and a really weak rebuttal from the quartering. And I'd maybe like you both to do, to quote Frosk, to do better.